'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring except Johnny Gargano, who might be going to AEW. What happened after AEW Rampage went off the air? Booker T discussing The Undertaker at WrestleMania 38, and Raw have announced a wedding segment, because those are always the absolute best. Hello, ho, ho, my dear friends. 'Tis I, Saint Cleary, back one last time before the big day itself to give you the true meaning of Christmas, which is, of course, aggregated wrestling content. So, I've got my trackies on, I've got my Christmas jumper on, I've got my cup of eggnog. We are all set for the last wrestling video before Christmas. This is the news. Okay, so not to get too carried away or overly excited with this one, but we all knew that Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano were both leaving NXT 2.0 at exactly the same time. Now, where they were going to go, nobody knew. Nothing was announced. They had left the company, though. They were free to pursue other avenues. And, of course, Kyle O'Reilly, he debuted on AEW just a few days ago, and it was wonderful. It was dead exciting, but we thought that probably meant they wouldn't get Johnny Gargano. But not so, according to Big Banter Uncle Dave Meltzer and the rest of the happy little elves at the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He suspects that Johnny Gargano could make his AEW debut this coming month, specifically January the 26th at the Cleveland Wallstein Center, which of course makes sense because Johnny Gargano is from Cleveland. He said, as more time goes, everyone liked the impression, didn't they? As more time goes on, I have this feeling that Gargano will debut in Cleveland. That would be the right night to do it, right? It's, I think, maybe late January, maybe January 26th. I don't know 100% that he's going, but he's talking about wanting to wrestle Kenny Omega. It's things he said both publicly and privately. I know he's heavily considering it. Now, that's not us saying Johnny Gargano is going to AEW. Just hope the headline didn't say that. It might have done. Anyway, that's not Johnny Gargano going to AEW, just that the ground is looking as fertile as it possibly could. He wants to work with Omega. Omega is, of course, not in AEW right now because he's recuperating from injuries, but is a big part of that company. And Tony Khan loves debuting people in their hometowns. We saw the whole CM Punk thing. Getting Gargano in Cleveland would be massive. The guy lives for that scale of pops, and where else are you going to get that kind of pop for a Johnny Gargano debut other than where he's literally from? I've changed my tune, I have to be honest. I was like, look, you shouldn't be getting as many ex-WWE guys. It kind of dilutes the product, what you're doing yourself. But as we've seen, that doesn't matter. I was wrong about all of that. They got Danielson and Cole and Punk all in the space of a week, and Ruby Soho. And did it matter? Did it ruin anything? No, it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if Johnny Gargano wants to go to AEW, he should go soon. He should go January the 26th, and he should go to Cleveland. That would... Oh, I can feel my nipples oscillating. That's how exciting that is. I just want to quickly address the fact that somebody said to me, if you're really the last person in the office and you're just taking it easy now, why are you wearing jeans like some kind of weirdo? And I thought, hey, do you know what? Fair point. Anyway, AEW Rampage, tonight, its main event will be Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. Now, I ain't going to spoil that for you. You can go and find the spoilers for that very easily because it's been pre-taped. I ain't going to spoil that main event for you because from what I've read about it, it sounds absolutely sensational. But I am going to tell you what happened after it goes off the air because that can be done without ruining the match. And if you think there is an implication in this, let me assure you there is not. I would not be presenting this unless it was spoiler-free. Anyway, Cody is in the ring. He is cutting a promo. Why is he cutting a promo? Is he cutting a promo because he won? Cutting a promo because he lost? You'll have to find out. He's cutting a promo. And there is a mixed reaction to him, shall we say. He keeps saying he's got this problem in his heel, teasing another sort of heel face turn dynamic. Anyway, Tony Khan and a semblance of wrestling luminaries come out. Jim Crockett's there, etc. They're all just talking about what a great guy Cody is, and that is not getting a good reaction from the crowd, let me tell you. But before they wrap up, Cody says there's one last thing he wants to do, and that is send Hook. And who else comes down to the ring but Hook himself? The most prestigious, precocious, predubitous talent in AEW right now. And the two of them have a little bit of a face-off, a little bit of a stare-down. Cody extends the hand. Hook isn't sure if he wants to accept it. Then he finally does. Doesn't let go. He does the, you'll do this over Christmas. You'll shake hands with an uncle who's like, I haven't got a small penis. They're doing that together. And then Hook slaps him. Cody's a little bit taken back. The crowd are loving it. He says everybody gets one, but you can't do that again. The crowd are like, oh, yeah, you can. One more time, one more time, one more time. And they do not come to blows, but Cody promises that the next time they are in Greensboro, he will go one-on-one with Hook. Tony Khan, I should point out, immediately then steps in. It's like, well, maybe we'll do that. Probably it would be a great match. It'd be a hell of a match, wouldn't it, if we did do that, which we were absolutely not committing to do, by the way. And that is how the show closed for those in attendance, which I think, oh my word, is very interesting, because we are all very hot on Hook, aren't we, on the planet Earth, because he looks incredibly talented. He's got that Taz bloodline. He's just a good-looking lad. Looks like he's going to be an incredible wrestler. So to get him already teasing big matches against the likes of Cody Rhodes is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Now, look, you might be sitting there thinking, was he promising him a title match? Is he not promising him a title match because he didn't win the title? Like I say, no spoilers there whatsoever, but the main event is Cody versus Sammy Guevara. That sounds like it's going to be absolutely excellent, so you should tune into AEW Rampage to find out for yourself. But you will not see that bit, because that's what happened off the air. Exciting! Right, next up, and I really shouldn't be holding this that close to my laptop. You remember The Undertaker? You do. Big hat, big guy, big goth coat, and he used to walk around, do this thing with his eyes, and he would choke slam people. And he's related to Kane, the guy. Yeah, he's related to him, his brother, I think he is. Anyway, he retired at Survivor Series 2020 after retiring 4 or 5 times in the 3 years leading up to that. But it does look like it's stuck. Obviously, it's not been exactly the most fertile ground for bringing people back over the last God knows how long. There probably wasn't any opportunities to do a guest spot with him, and given his age and the fact he did want to step back from the ring, probably means he is retired forever. However, that has not stopped discussion about him potentially coming back yet again at WrestleMania 38. There's been all manner of opponents discussed and all manner of backstage stories that they really do kind of want to use The Undertaker for this, and if he has got one more match in him, then maybe he should do it. But no concrete thing either way yet. But Booker T, you know Booker T, he was on his own podcast, his Hall of Fame podcast, and he said, and bear in mind, Booker T knows The Undertaker quite well. You know, honestly, you're expecting me to do an impression here. I'm not doing an impression of Booker T. You know, honestly, I don't think we're going to see The Undertaker in ring at WrestleMania 38. The thing is, can The Undertaker come back and have one more match? I'm sure he could. That's what wrestlers do. Whether they can do it or not, it's almost like, okay, there's the ring right there, just push me and I'll do the rest. That's the way wrestlers are. Can The Undertaker go out there and do another match? Yes, I think he could. But I think for the nostalgia of The Undertaker, it's too early to see him in the ring right now and really get the bang for our buck. If he came back and did it now, I don't think we'd get that same feeling. Just going to really quickly there, Google The Undertaker. He's 56 years old. Now, I know we've just seen Sting in AEW, but Sting has not had the schedule The Undertaker has had. He has been far kinder to his body, even with all the things that are wrong with it. He's been far kinder to that body than The Undertaker has over the years. The last few times you see him in the ring, he's effectively broken mid-match. It has not been pretty. You cannot... No. Let him, literally, the dead man, you need to let him rest nice and peacefully. I don't ever want to see The Undertaker back in the ring. That's no disrespect to the guy. I'd love to see him involved with the company. I'd love to still see him on wrestling television, but I don't want to see him in the ring. You've milked that. If The Undertaker was a dog, then the RSPCA would have turned up, I don't know if you've got that in America, animal welfare basically, would have turned up at WWE headquarters and taken him away years ago and arrested Vince. Just leave him alone. Right, I'm just going to really quickly wrap up now because we've all got better places to be, I'm sure, but WWE have announced a wedding segment. Allow me to take a sip of tea. For this week's Monday Night Raw. I did say it was eggnog before, that was a lie. And the Miz and Maurice are going to get married. Now, you're quite an intelligent wrestling viewer. You're sat there going, the Miz and Maurice? You mean that couple who are already married and have been since 2014 and even star in a hit cable show, Miz and Maurice, which is entirely based around the fact and the premise that they are already married. And to you I say, yes, but it's wrestling. It's never ever stopped them before. They're going to be renewing their vows, and the press release WWE did for it might be the most WWE sounding thing you have ever heard. Please brace yourself, clench your buttocks. The most must-see wedding in WWE history is upon us. Fresh off getting the better of Edge on his own talk show last week, the Miz and Maurice are in celebratory mood. They plan to celebrate their love in front of the WWE Universe as they get set to renew their wedding vows this Monday night on Raw. Now, I would say, how on earth you can rope Edge into this program and then claim that this is the most must-see plan to celebrate love in front of a live crowd. I dispute heavily, because you've got to remember, Edge once literally slung one up his girlfriend just on a live show in front of a crowd. There was a small boy in the front row, so don't know how they're going to top that. I suspect they're not going to. Now, I will say, I know the question. I know the first question you have about this, and I'm going to answer it straight away. No, as yet they have not confirmed whether the Mrs. Dar is going to be in attendance. But you would assume it's a wedding. So, well, it's not a wedding, it's a renewal of vows. You would presume if Mr. Miz can get there, George, I think he was called, he would be. Also, there's a lot of people, when I saw this getting out, there's a lot of people were asking about Maurice's mother. I don't know if that's something from the show. Should I know who Maurice's mother is? Have I missed that in pro wrestling? Is she a babe? Is she a MILF? Well, I presume she'll be there as well. Anyway, part of this is expected to be filmed to go into Miz and Maurice, which I suppose will be tells my last day, suppose will be a really nice segment for them. Yeah, the go home Raw for day one, there's going to be a wedding. Be some matches as well, but there's going to be a wedding. Right, now I did promise you all a little Christmas treat before we went away, and I have it. So, you may remember we released two books this year, and they both, well, one's nearly, but they both sold out incredibly quickly. The first one was, of course, where have I put them down here? Was, of course, Becoming All Elite, The Rise of AEW, written by Michael Sidgwick, about the entire history up to this point of AEW. And again, not to toot our own cocks here, we trebled the original order we were going to do for this, more than trebled, and it still sold out on pre-orders alone, so you simply cannot get that right now. But some of you may be aware, we did release a limited number on Amazon, and I am pleased to tell you that right now, as of today, you can now get this in full on Amazon, in ebook, paperback, anywhere in the world. It is now back on sale to everybody. A Christmas present for you all, from me, and Sidgwick, to you. If you wanted to read this and you were sad you missed out and you couldn't get any of the stuff we put out recently, you can now, no matter who you are, where you are, so long as you've got access to Amazon, and for everybody who doesn't like Amazon, we probably will try and do another thing later on, you can now get that as well. Merry Christmas! But I also thought that maybe me saying that was everybody's Christmas present would be a little bit disappointing, because it's a Christmas present that involves you spending money, and that's not in the spirit of Christmas, is it? So I also have this. Now this is one of the last copies we have of 606 Wrestlers to See Before You Die, and it is broken! Don't know how, don't know why, but we picked out one copy from the box, and the first 4 pages were just in the wrong order. Don't know how that happened, spoke to the printers, they were as baffled as we were, but that's how it is. So we can't really sell that one, because it's a faulty product. I should also say, funny story, that was the first one I took out of the boxes, and we had hundreds of boxes, and the first one I pulled out had a big printing error in it. So can you imagine the knot inside me that I honestly thought I was going to die? Then I picked out another one that was fine, another one fine. Somehow, by complete coincidence, there was one faulty one, and I got that first. So what I'm going to do, we can't sell it because it's broken. It's Christmas. I am going, no matter where in the world you live, I will personally sign with a really gushing, lovely long message and send to you the broken copy of 606 Wrestling Matches to See Before You Die to the person who draws the nicest Christmas picture of me. I like to send all my friends a weird Christmas card on Christmas Day or Boxing Day every single year, and it's normally done with fan art, but I don't really do videos anymore, so I haven't really got access to that kind of stuff. But if you draw me a nice Christmas picture of, try and draw this particular setting, I will pick a winner, and I will send you the broken copy of 606 Wrestling Matches See Before You Die, completely free. It just costs you your talent and a little bit of your time. That's my Christmas present to one of you. This is my Christmas present to all of you, but this will be my Christmas present to one of you. Right, so I'm going to wrap up now with the Twitter questions. In fact, I'm going to wrap up with one particular question, because Mark Gallagher asked me, who he knows I'm a massive Carly Rae Jepsen fan. Yes, we exist. What wrestler or what wrestling personality would I give a Carly Rae Jepsen entrance theme to, and what song would that be? And I've thought long and hard about this. He asked me a few days ago, I've thought long and hard about this all week. And I've decided that the wrestling personality I would give a Carly Rae Jepsen theme tune to is me. And the theme I would give them is Party for One. Because My friends, what has the last week been here on WhatCulture Wrestling, if not a little party for one? Well, actually, I'll tell you. It's been a party for me, but it's also been a party for all of you, and I cannot thank you all enough for being so nice and saying so many nice things and saying it's nice to have me back and nice to see me again, how you've enjoyed me just going out of my mind doing all these videos. So from the bottom of this cold black heart, thank you so much. And I truly wish you all a very Merry Christmas, whatever you're doing for it, however you celebrate. Just go and immerse yourself in everything you're able to do. Whatever the restrictions are, whatever's stopping you, whatever the hurdles you have to overcome, just go and do them. Because if the last 2 years should have taught us anything, it's that you just never know, do you? You never know. If your auntie is taking an embarrassing photo of you and they're doing that thing old people do and you don't want to be in that picture, get in that picture. Because you just do not know what's around the corner. This year has sucked. But we're all still here. Most of us. And those that aren't are dearly missed. But it's Christmas. And from myself and everybody at WhatCulture Wrestling, I wish you all the happiest of holidays. And I will see you again in a couple of days. Goodbye, everybody. I love you all. God bless. God bless. Goodbye. Goodbye.